Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie and today I'm joined by Tom Martin, CEO of Glance. Tom, it's great to have you join us today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Charlie. Thanks for having me. We're just out of the icy grip of the cold here in New England.
Yeah, it's -6 where I am here too in Belgium, so far apart, but definitely feel your pain, maybe for lack of a better word.
Yeah, exactly.
With that. But yeah, it's great to have you join us today, Tom, and I'm really excited to discuss this topic with you. It's a very, I think this is one that our audience will really like, and that's kind of the topic of whether CRM systems will replace contact center platforms. And I got this, we kind of discussed this idea for a topic beforehand. I think it stemmed from some research from Metrigy, which suggested that 55% of IT and CX leaders think the CRM will replace contact center platforms by 2027. So I think the best place to start this conversation is, does that statistic surprise you?
It doesn't. So much of what we've seen over the past X number of years is we've seen, CRMs and contact centers, they're just getting closer and closer together. CRMs have always been the repository of everything that the customer has done. Call centers have really been that part that's created that experience. It's really been not just call routing, but they've gotten into digital tooling and they know and understand all the things that the customer has done and the pathways that they've came into the business. And so I think about, those are two worlds that have really started to collide. And I'm not surprised that people are saying, hey, you know what, I think CRM is going to take over contact center, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because I see Microsoft is doing quite a lot with Dynamics now, and then I think Salesforce has also got out a Service Cloud, and many smaller contacts, smaller operations can use that CRM as the base for their service operations. But do you think that CRMs can compete maybe within the next 5 years with especially in the mid-market and enterprise space?
Yeah, I think in the mid market and definitely in the smaller market, I think they're going to be able to compete and they'll probably do really well. In the enterprise space, I don't necessarily feel that way. One of the things that behind the scenes that we haven't talked about around CRM and around contact center is the fact that all these platforms are moving to the cloud. And as we move to the cloud, there are still very much organizations and platforms that they were really self-contained. But as they continue to evolve, this idea of really being cloud native and having the opportunity to be able to ostensibly connect and integrate with many different platforms, companies are starting to really start to think about more of best of breed, design around meeting the customer. And so when you can have a system that is one cloud native, two has the ability to integrate, you can pick and choose best of breed components to design and meet the customer where you want to meet them, and do it on an individualized basis. That's not necessarily going to be possible or capable if you're in that small medium business that one just doesn't have the staff to be able to do it. So you're going to be looking at a platform that's going to just have more of it available to you all in one system, and that's where I think CRMs are naturally going to probably be the platform of choice.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a few really interesting points there. I think also in terms of the point of will a Salesforce take on the enterprise? Maybe not yet. I guess it has a very close relationships with a lot of the big CCaaS providers too. And do they want to step on their toes? I think that's an interesting topic. But I think your point as well of the fact that these companies have become cloud native is very important, as you said, in terms of the integration capabilities with kind of CRM and contact center platforms as
Yeah.
well too actually. And I think Glance, which kind of your company, is a great example of company that harnesses kind of integrations with the big CRM players and adds value to them. So I think the logical next question for me to ask you would kind of be, how are you helping bring CRM systems like Salesforce Service Cloud and Microsoft Dynamics up to grade to handle kind of contact center interactions?
Well, I think the things that we think about is that most businesses, whether we think about it this way, are really organized into multiple silos. You've got digital teams, you've got physical teams, and we're really about bringing those two teams together because customers only see a business. They don't necessarily go, oh, this company's broken up into these silos or different channels, and I'm going to be able to work this channel, then jump over to this channel. They only see one experience, and oftentimes, customers will start somewhere, finish somewhere else, and you lose a lot of that contextual information and intent data. And so, what we're trying to do is bring those digital and human physical worlds together so that we can actually understand and meet the customer where they are. So if a customer's in one channel, they need to switch, we can really be that bridge to be able to guide customers through those types of experiences where they need advice, where they need a human touch to make that final decision. And oftentimes, I think of the two worlds of contact center and CRM. A lot of this is really thinking about other things around what does that unified experience look like, and what are all the different points that either the CRM or the contact center don't necessarily have awareness to. And so when you think of modern digital and social channels that customers are really using to create that sort of journey, and thinking about it as a more interactive, immediate, personalized path, this is where really looking at companies like Sprinkler, where they're able to use things like AI to assess and look at a gigantic data set that could be in an enterprise. They might have multiple CRMs, they might have different contact center platforms, but you're looking at this massive amount of data to then inform what's the right experience for the customer, and then to use that contextual and intent data to be like, let's offer the customer this. And by the way, it happens to be a combination of things. And so Glance really fits into that world where what we're really trying to do is deliver this unified customer experience that I don't think CRMs are naturally set up to do, nor are contact centers, because the customer's taking their own journey.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great point. The fact that while CRM systems may be morphing more into CCaaS solutions, they're still typically implemented by a CRM provider or a CCaaS provider, and whereas the kind of person that can maybe provide that all-in-one solution, the support that's necessary, and where the role of companies like Glance within that, I think, is a very interesting topic in itself. So I think that's really great. And I think we've hit upon a few. You mentioned also the role of AI within CRM systems. I think that's a very interesting trend too. So we've talked about that. We've talked about CCaaS morphing into CRM. Which other trends are really exciting you within the CRM world at the moment?
I think the things that I don't think any company would, or anybody who's involved in a CRM at any company is going to sit there and be like, hey, our CRM data is absolutely accurate. I think of we use CRM inside our company, and I'm like, we're always trying to sit there and be like, is the hygiene up to snuff? Is the data accurate? Is it gotten old? Is it stale? And when you're able to start to look at other systems, especially where you can apply AI and really think about how you can, leverage information that's already out there to then start to build some of those types of journeys and use it. I think we see CRM providers obviously trying to, figure out how they can be part of that orchestration layer through these different digital tools. And you look at what Salesforce is doing with AWS and trying to improve the quality of their Einstein bot, and also just recognizing that they're trying to find ways to bridge that gap. They're not going to stop trying, but I just, one of the things that I feel more that is going to be a challenge for anybody with CRM is that having really good data to be able to build that journey and understand what a customer is doing is going to be really important. And I'm not sure if a CRM is the right place to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of also goes back to your previous answer as well, where you were suggesting that a single company may have multiple CRMs, and it kind of just gives you an idea of the silos that many of these companies have in accessing data within the CRM. So I think lots of really great stuff there. And we could talk about this topic and various other CRM and contact center topics more and more, I'm sure. But maybe a final question for you, Tom. We've mentioned Glance a little bit already, but where can our viewers, if they want to find out more information about Glance, go to get that information?
Sure. Please visit us on the website, glance.net. You probably see us out in with customers that maybe you've experienced. One of the things, of course, that's happening right now, this time of the year, especially if you're in the U.S., is that you might be doing taxes. And we work closely with companies like TurboTax to help create those types of experiences, to help people do things that they don't do on a regular basis. But please stop by, drop us a line. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I love to reach out and connect with people.
Excellent. I think that's a really great place to end today's chat. But thank you very much for joining me, Tom. It was a great conversation.
Thanks, Charlie.
Excellent. And also thank you for everybody for watching. Bye for now.